Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. So it is time to do the 20-week update in my teacher bujo, which, oh my gosh, I can't even believe it's already 20 weeks in. But hey, it's not a bad thing. So taking a look first at how this notebook has been holding up. So I've been using a B5. Yes, I've been using a B5 LEUCHTTURM in the Nordic blue, I want to say. So as you can see, she's definitely got some love. The cover's holding up pretty well. There's a couple of little smudges and stains, specifically this one. I have no idea what that is. I suspect it might be a whiteboard marker. You can also see that I have got quite a lot stuffed in this back pocket here. We'll take a look at that. But overall, she's holding up pretty well, so I am happy about that. And let's take a look in here. So this has been holding up really well. I actually got wise. As nice as it is to have my schedule in here, what I really needed was to have it in my locker at school. So I actually did a large version that I color coded and just put in a little, what are they called? Like a plastic sleeve protector. And then I washi taped it onto the door of my locker. And so now I can just open that up and see exactly where I need to be. And so that has been really helpful. So yeah, that I need to refill my stickies, obviously. I've got, I think that's one. I've literally got one sticky left, so got to do that. I started at some point filling in the index for my notes and I kind of just stopped. Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to go back and fill it in later. We'll find out. Then I've got all of this stuff. So we've got we're currently in our winter vacation. So I will get to cross off winter vacation in February soon, but it's kind of nice to see we're already halfway through the school year. So monthlies are going pretty well. I started crossing off the days with a ruler. And so because I started that way, I have to finish that way. And so I tend to like cross off the month at the end. I do still refer to this for different things. Just if it's not already on my weekly, I do refer to this over here. So I will need to update this. That's probably going to be one of my projects during my holidays, is I'm going to just make sure I'm kind of up to date through the end of the school year, specifically up to date on my weeklies so that I know what's coming up, because I find that having it on that weekly really helps me get a better sense of like how soon something's coming up. So I will work on that. I also need to cross off February, because by the time I go back to school, it will be done. It'll be March. So there's that. So you can see I've got a couple things filled out here. I'll have to go through the school calendar and just make sure I'm all up to date over here. And yeah, so you guys have already seen all of this. As you can see, things kind of went as is. So we'll start looking more closely at week 10 once I get there. So week 10, this obviously, all of my 11th graders were on like their week-long internship. So this is why this looks so empty. It normally is not like that. So things have been going pretty well. I definitely feel more on top of things in general, even though there are still things that I have on my to-do list that get migrated because it's the kind of stuff I just don't really want to do. So whoops, got to work on that. But overall, it's been really nice. The kind of planning things as a unit means that I need to kind of go through week by week and just sort of see where we are. But it's more of a, all right, this is the thing we finished on. What's next up? Okay, that's what we're gonna do during this week. And like I will sometimes readjust the order of operations, if you will, depending on what kinds of things are actually happening. So for example, if I know that you know, Friday evening, I'm not going to do something that requires a lot of brain power. So if I had planned on doing a test, I'm going to move that to the next week and do something else before that, or kind of thing. So I do still look at my planner and kind of set things up on a weekly basis, but it's more of a kind of a check-in rather than full-on planning, which has been really nice. So the one thing I'm still kind of struggling with is grading. I've been working on doing a lot of grading. I just had a lot of stuff that's come in, but I have certain types of assignments that take a lot more brain power and like organization to do. So for example, I have a final task that I gave to 2 classes back in December, like not even joking, back in December, that they did on FLIPGRID, because that was a way for me to have them, I was able to grade their oral expression without actually taking up 2 to 3 class periods to do it during the school day. However, because it's now a video that I have forever, I put that off and I don't get to it nearly as quickly. Case in point, it is mid-February and I still haven't graded it. So like grading is still something I'm working on, but I do feel a lot more on top of things in terms of planning this year. So that has been really nice. The weekly honestly has been working really, really well. I love having the entire week, like, you know, from 8 in the morning till 6 at night, even though I don't typically have classes that late, or yeah, till 6 at night. Even though I don't typically have classes quite that late, I do find that it is really useful when meetings come up to be able to fill this in. So I am really happy that I have all of that in here, even though setting it up in the summer does take a really long time. It is definitely worth it. So you'll notice, like, for example, here I had some stuff in black. Those were just general meetings. They weren't actually with students. And so I didn't do them in a color code because I don't really have a color code for that, but I wanted them on here so that I knew, you know, what was happening at that point in time. So yeah, you'll see there are things that I cross out sometimes, white out, things that have to get readjusted. Like, it's not a perfect system, but this has been really helpful. And I've noticed that this year, because our internet has been functioning much better, I've been able to really rely on Google Drive. And so I use this kind of to give me my overview, but I've noticed that I really don't use my binders that much anymore, because the binders are where I keep the printout of my PowerPoints. Now, if ever, you know, electricity were to go out or internet were down, that would be a different story. But so far, knock on wood, things have been going really well. And so I have noticed that I haven't been using that. And I've honestly been kind of leaving them in my locker, which means that I'm carrying around slightly less stuff. So that's something that I'm going to kind of keep an eye on through the end of the school year and see if that's something that I might change in terms of my setup for next year, to say like, okay, well, if I'm not actually using these binders, is there a way that I can just stop using them altogether and no longer have them and save that weight that I currently have with these and like make my bags a little bit lighter? So again, jury is still out a little bit, because if ever, you know, we lose internet or the electricity goes out, I do still need to have a sort of non-digital way of making sure I have what's going on. But so far it's been working pretty well, so we'll see. So that is up to week 20. As you can see, I've already started, this is the week back after our holidays. So I've already started kind of penciling in a couple of things over here, and I will work more on that during my holidays to just kind of make sure I'm sort of up to date. So the last thing I want to show you is with my notes. So as I mentioned, I started kind of writing in some stuff with my notes, but as you can see, I've got a ton of stuff in here, tons of things glued in, and there's labels for everything. So I'm kind of not sure if I really want to actually finish doing the indexing, if it's even necessary, because I label it fairly clearly in my notes. So I don't know about that. Then the last thing I have is this. And this, I actually probably need to go through this, I need to go through this holiday and see if there's anything that I can file. But this is getting a little bit unwieldy. There's just going to be a little bit too much stuff in there, and it's really kind of putting a strain on this back pocket. But the good thing is I actually have a back pocket that is large enough to fit papers like that, so that's kind of good. So yeah, things are going really well. I would say that in general the system is a winner. I am planning on creating my own version of this in InDesign so that I can then just print it and bind it every school year, and just, you know, I basically am planning to have this filled out and then leave this blank, you know, maybe just do my MTWTF, but then leave it blank so that I can fill in the dates, because it's been 3 years. This works really well. I think I'm at the point where I just want to stop having to, you know, write 30, you know, draw in 36 weekly spreads every summer. So yeah. So overall, things are going well. 2/3 of the way through the school year, which is kind of cool. And yeah, that's all I have. This is a pretty short update, all things considered. So if you guys have any comments or questions, or especially if you have any types of teacher content videos that I haven't filmed yet that you guys would be interested in seeing, let me know down below and I will work on filming those hopefully. So hope you guys have a great day, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.
Hey guys, so if you've made it all the way to the end of this video and are actually watching my end screen and you're not subscribed to my channel, I would really appreciate it if you would. There's a little button right there for you to do it. And if you're interested in watching some more of my videos, I have links to 2 of my older videos off to the left there, so you can check those out if you would like to, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!